nature by William F. Lawrence et al. Basically, the number and the extent of roads are going to increase dramatically by this century. It has been estimated that around 25 million kilometers of road are going to be constructed by 2050, and there is going to be a 60% increase in the length of these roads as compared to 2010. Now what happens is these roads are being constructed, no doubt, but they are being constructed in regions where there are these wilderness or frontier areas where the biodiversity is very rich. Not realizing that they are causing over here habitat loss and fragmentation, also leading to wildfires, forest fires, overhunting, poaching. So because of which there is irreversible impact on the ecosystem. Now an international team has developed a plan called as the Global Scheme Plan with regards to the irreversible effects being felt on the happening on the ecosystem. Now what does this plan do? Its main priority is concerned with road building. So what does it do? It will allow to construct roads, limiting the environmental cost, but at the same time helping us to benefit from this. How? By increasing agricultural production, because today agricultural production is the main thing. The demand for food has increased. So what does this plan do? It identifies areas with high environmental values where future road building should be avoided. Suppose in a particular area it's having no benefits, it's causing more and more damage to the environment, that area should be avoided, no road should be constructed there. If needed, a strategic road improvement could also be done, and to be aware of these conflict areas. Now conflict areas are those areas wherein they show over here sizable benefits for agriculture, no doubt, but at the same time also give us environmental problems. The main aim of this plan was to provide a template for proactively zoning and prioritizing roads during the most explosive era of road expansion in human history. Why are we constructing roads today? First, for normal transportation, also to increase trade. Then other factors like research timber, minerals, oils, etc. and also for energy infrastructure. Now there are some roads that help us with substantial economic benefits over here, giving us modest to the environmental cost. But at the same time, it is in developing nations where vast expanse of lands have been settled down but have no agricultural productivity because no one is really helping to increase provide better fertilizers or use modern farming techniques. There is land but no one is helping it to carry forward the agricultural production. So despite all these things, now several reasons that led to the formation of global map are: first of all, there are roads are being constructed. It's scattered everywhere on the surface of the globe, but what happens? Only certain roads are being mapped today. There are many illegal roads. Like for example, in the Amazon, there are so many roads which are illegal and they are also unmapped. Secondly, what happens is these EIs which are being conducted, they are seen to pose a burden on the proof of the road opponents because they don't have that much matter on rare species or maybe these biological resources and ecosystem services. Thirdly, whichever road assessments are being done, they are limited in scope because they are only focused on the direct effects. They are not looking at the other forms of effects which could be like deforestation, fire, which are actually the main effects. And lastly, there is no strategy, there is no proper planning over here when we are constructing roads. So, the international team, Lawrence and his group, they came up with this global road map. As the name suggests, it's basically a map over here. They are identifying areas where there are areas where roads or maybe some more road improvements like lanes not really constructed and having benefits. Now, this has two components, there are two layers: environment value layer, that shows the picture, and a road benefit layer. Environment linking to importance of ecosystems, and road benefit layer meaning we need to get benefit from the roads that are being constructed by either increase in agricultural production, because that was the main aim. When you combine these two layers, you are able to identify three aspects over here. One, where if you identify areas where road upgrades will have a larger potential benefit, otherwise road building should be avoided. And thirdly, with respect to conflict areas, I just told you about conflict areas. And this is a picture away of a map. The regions which are indicated in black are showing where roads are present. The ones that are in white are showing which there are roads, but they are mapped, meaning they are known. And obviously the quality of the road will determine from place to place.
which is what pattern emerges from this figure? What pattern according to you in terms of road density? Yeah. All across all continents. What is the pattern?
So the developed nations.
Okay, let us put it indirectly. What is characteristic of Eastern and Western Europe?
So there are less
What is your comment about an island continent like Australia?
on this region there are more roads. Actually, there are roads almost everywhere, but the main city
What
areas.
are ecological constraints in Latin America in the road building? Can you point? Amazon basin. White or black?
So this is the middle.
What is the condition of that area? What it is indicating?
So it indicates that there are roads present.
See, what I am suggesting, I am not spoon feeding you. Basically, when you are looking, actually I know that this is not absolute 100% slide because it is impossible. It is a small map and details you can't see properly on this. Original paper I have seen. But you have to discern the pattern. For example, the relative proportion of uniform black color density and white color shows you the indication of a country's development, physical infrastructure development. You can say that today entire United States and Europe, most of India and most of Western or Eastern Australia is highly developed. Most of Southern Africa is highly developed. Most of Eastern China, Japan are highly developed in terms of accessibility and density of roads, right? And mostly all the patches which are denoted by white color are patches where either there are thick temperate or tropical forest ecosystems or natural biomes or deserts like African white patch. It is all desert. Even if you build a road, sandstorms will cover the roads. That is how you have to interpret. So it's not because there wasn't money, there wasn't technology, there wasn't manpower, there wasn't political will, or there wasn't a demand, but because of natural constraints. You will have to completely finish the Amazon basin if you want to crisscross it with road network. This is not allowed by national and international legislations. So there are built-in constraints. This map is not going to change much, as we understand.
So the white areas indicate there are roads present, but they are unmapped.
No, unmapped in the sense.
These are not legal roads.
Legal roads are those roads which are maintained by the government. Private roads we are not considering in this model because there is no knowledge about them. And they are not going to be legalized easily. Understood? So that is the area because like way many animals build food tracks, but they are not shown on the map, but you can use it in the forest. They are unmapped food tracks. All trailer seals which are not shown on any map. Suppose you want to go to Dulsara waterfall on the top of it. There is no road there. From the road you have to take a detour. On which map it is there? No map can show you. You have to find your own way. Satellites can sense it due to the corridor in the break in vegetation. Go ahead and finish.
This is the environmental barrier, which shows basically the regions which are in green, they indicate whether the richness in the terrestrial biodiversity. There are key habitats which species are present there, biobusiness and other environmental services. Now, this is the road benefits layer. As I said, these all regions indicate this orange brown tinge. Basically, they show over here if roads are constructed over here, how benefit they will be in terms of agricultural production. Now, this is a global road map over here. The areas which are shaded in green, they show priority road-free green areas. In red, they are priority agricultural areas. These black shades which are seen are the conflict areas. And in the which are slightly shaded, the lower priority areas. Now the conclusion of it there's a good sign and a bad sign with this. This study shows us today that there are still substantial areas on every continent, like I showed in the road benefits here. There are areas over here that on every continent where if these roads are being constructed, they will help us in an increase in agricultural production. Now the bad sign with this is, it also shows us how today the ecosystems or all these natural areas are being literally exploited over here because of this road expansion. The conflict areas like Saharan African, Andean, South America, Indonesia, Madagascar, these are developing nations away which are at risk. And lastly, there are gigantic pressures to expand the roads, but where road building will cause severe environmental damage. This is what Lawrence Williams said, that the environmental impact assessment process for roads in many nations is essentially laughable. We need to bring the big picture and environmental perspective into road planning much more actively.
How this template